Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It is Coffee Ann here on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us on this Friday morning. It is May 19th. My name is Joe Callahan. At the Coffee Ann table, we'll introduce Dave Richards. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Joe. Good morning, everybody. Lovely day.
It sure is. Dominic Dwaron is here as well. Hello there, Dominic.
Good morning, everyone.
And he brought with him Dr. Rob Franzblau.
Actually, I drove here myself.
You did? Okay. Well, did you follow him?
We met in the parking lot outside the studio.
How about that's perfect. Good timing.
Oh, come on. You guys knew
and
each
he's
other
the,
before
He was
that.
just
We
randomly
didn't
walking by. I
just-
said, why don't you just come on in and
Come on in,
wait
yeah.
with us?"
Who are you?
And Rob is the conductor with the Rhode Island Wind Ensemble. We'll talk about the concert. It's going to be at St. Anne's this coming weekend.
If you're a conductor, where's your funny hat like Polar Express?
Not
Different
that
kind.
different kind of conductor. Before we get into that, Dave, we need a first message from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce.
Upcoming events at the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, boys and girls. Look at this. We've got on the 23rd, next Tuesday, the networking pop-up. It's at
That would be Monday, Dave, the 22nd?
22nd is the. Did I say the 23rd? That's what I was supposed to say. The
23rd
23rd,
is
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
the 23rd.
Okay. All set.
Right. At Tavallo Wine Bar and Tuscan Grill in Smithfield. And that's from 5 to 7 in the afternoon. No problems at all, right? Just drop on over, meet a few friends. Always bring business cards to these things. Did anybody ever tell you that? That way, when you meet somebody, you can give your business card and see, and everybody can compare business cards. At least you'll have a memory later on of who you met. And then on June the 7th, it's Welcome Wednesday, a networking coffee going on from 8 to 9 in the morning with the Big Brothers, Big Sisters down in Providence. Remember, if you go to chamber events during this time of day, you have dispensation. All you have to do is listen to one of the convenient replays on Coffee Ann. Don't worry about it. Chamber members have dispensation to miss Coffee Ann. And then on June 13th, don't laugh. This is serious business here. Emerging Leaders Networking Pop-Up again on Tuesday, June the 13th from 5 to 7 p.m. This time at the Revival Brewing and Lost Valley Pizza in Providence. On June the 20th, we have Cocktails and Conversations from 5 to 7, and that's at the terrace at the Capitol Grill. I say. Not bad, huh? And then, of course, coming up way off in the future, but you better start registering now because this is going to sell out fast, the Chamber Executive Golf Outing. At 11 a.m., it starts up at the Kirkbrae Country Club in Lincoln. Then there'll be a little soiree right after everybody gets finished with all of their holes there. That's coming up on September the 19th. If you're a member of the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce like I am, it comes in an email right to your inbox, and all you have to do is click the little blue register button right next to the event. See how easy that is? The rest of you have to call 334-1000 after 9 o'clock this morning and say, sign me up, to anybody who answers the phone. Remember, after 9 o'clock this morning, because they are not there yet. Thank you very much.
All right, Dave, thanks. All right, very important, very first question for Dr. Rob Franzblau. Will you be going to see Taylor Swift this weekend?
I couldn't get tickets.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
No.
He wasn't swift enough, so.
Very good, very good.
Sorry, it's early in the morning. It's early.
This is Rhode Island, so I met a friend of my son's named Taylor, Tayla.
Okay.
So it could be Taylor Swift. for all
You're
I
right.
know.
That's who
But-
you're seeing.
Look, I give her a lot of credit because she writes her own song. She's a songwriter.
And a performer.
And
so.
a performer. And so but fine.
No?
Absolutely fine.
Okay. Janet Jackson's going to be in town. You going to
No,
see
thank
her?
you.
No? Okay.
Nope, that's a hard no.
That's a hard no for me,
Wow,
too.
okay.
No, I've seen a lot more of Janet Jackson than I ever want to see again.
They're both sellouts, you know.
That's great. No,
Good for them, right?
there's nothing like live music.
Right,
man, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like Taylor Swift's music as a music person, as a conductor of?
Here's my phone.
That's right. Yeah.
There's no Taylor Swift
Taylor
on my
Swift.
phone.
Okay.
Not that I'd turn. If it comes on the radio and the station plays it, it's catchy, right? It's catchy,
Right.
and I'll stay with it.
And you can dance to it.
It's pop music.
And I can dance in my car.
Yeah, there you go. Dominic, are you going to Taylor Swift?
No,
No, okay.
I've got other things I got to do.
Okay.
But,
all right.
He's got to he's got to organize his sock drawer.
Look at this sock drawer. Oh, I can't even imagine the traffic. Oh my gosh, at Gillette. I've actually never been to Gillette Stadium.
And it starts
I
at
hear-
2:00 this afternoon, by the way.
It's where the parking lot's open.
Yeah, that's
Shows at
great.
8.
Parking lot's open
I-
at 2:30, but the traffic starts at 2.
Even some of the biggest artists that I've enjoyed growing up, I would never.
No, you don't want to see it with 60,000 of your closest friends?
No,
Okay.
no, I would never.
Yeah.
No.
I know, and of course, we've had it on the news the last couple of days. The Foxborough officials are saying, please, if you don't have a ticket, don't come. But you know that's going to happen.
Hey, they want to hear the concert
We'll
outside.
just listen to it in the parking lot. But they're going to try to avoid that situation. But Route 1 is just going to be insane.
Yeah,
So anyway, what you should do is go to the Wind Ensemble show on on Sunday.
that's right. Tickets are much more affordable, much more available.
Much more affordable.
They're not the $1,000 range.
Yeah, I would never pay that for my favorite artist.
I know. Yeah, I know. It doesn't matter who it is.
The most I ever dished out, and that was only because it was his farewell tour. I'd never seen him before, and I wanted to see him before he finished. Was Pavarotti.
All right.
I paid
Luciano Pavarotti.
I paid $125 for the cheap seat on Mohegan Sun Arena,
Okay.
and even then,
And
I
his voice still reached you.
his voice still reached me. Even then, I
Was still
hesitated.
grating on you?
I hesitated. I'm like, oh, $125.
So much.
I would never. No, I just.
In retrospect,
but
you're glad you did it.
I'm
though,
glad.
right?
I'm definitely
Right.
glad, but I
Yeah.
would never put out
There-
$1,000 to go. Nobody,
no,
nobody
no.
in the world is worth $1,000.
There are
to see
those
a story.
there are those times in life where you just have to do something for you that's unwise, but it's not going to hurt anybody. But it's just unwise, and it's just those times. And I can relay off the air. I wouldn't do it on the air. But since you and I are buds, I would tell you about times that I have regretted saying, "Oh no, I don't think so." But then later on, circumstances developed that I should have.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
skiing at Vail. You know, we're in Vail, Colorado on a news assignment, and it ended up early, and I was going to go back early. The rest of the people that I was out there with from Woonsocket were going to go skiing at Vail. I thought I should probably get back to work early on Monday. What a mistake!
Missed
that
opportunity.
There
was.
you go. There you go.
I should have just said, okay, let's go, let's have some fun. Me stick in the mud.
All right.
Well,
So I'm proud of you for going to see Luciano.
you also saved maybe a broken leg or a
That's the other
concussion.
thing, too,
So
yeah.
look on the bright side.
Well, I don't know. I could have gotten a couple of weeks off on the broken leg. Gee, I mean, I had a good health plan.
I guess there's a bright side to everything. Huh? Even,
All right. Well, back to Sunday. What are the cost of the tickets?
$20.
Oh, that's so much
$20,
better than
$20,
$1,000.
$20 to see.
You won't be able to get popcorn at the Taylor Swift contest for
for $20.
$20.
No way. Yeah, $20 to get in. You can get tickets at Belos Flowers, Creative Impressions, The Honey Shop, Timeless Antiques, Vos True Value Hardware. You can also purchase them at the door. Right on the Wind Ensemble.
Which door? Are we going upstairs or downstairs?
This will be upstairs.
This
will be upstairs.
Acoustics beaucoup.
This is in the big venue. 50-piece ensemble, one of the premier ensembles here in Rhode Island. And I also, often we talk about the younger generations, they're into Taylor Swift and stuff. And oftentimes you hear about the older generation going, oh, why do they do that? Why do they do this? Well, this is a great affordable opportunity. If you have kids, if you got grandkids, bring them. They're you can't sit there and complain about the stuff that they do and stuff that they listen to if you don't introduce it to them. And so this is a great opportunity to introduce them to a large ensemble and to music that they've probably never been exposed to before, or at least don't realize they've been exposed to it before.
Right.
So
That's a good point because I think a lot of people, when you play a piece like Pictures at an Exhibition, you may not say, "Oh, that's Pictures at an Exhibition," but you'll go, "I've heard that somewhere," and often it's in commercials or in film scores, and even if it's not the exact piece itself,
It's close.
it's got the flavor. Like John Williams, Star Wars, all
Right.
of that stole from the best, and I mean that as the sincerest compliment, because there are places in this piece that you will swear were written for the Star Wars
Yeah.
film score or one of his movies, or any of the other great film score composers. Korngold in the middle of the early part of the movie careers. Korngold's scores were great, and then of course John Williams and Danny Elfman. All yeah. So Pictures at an Exhibition has the colors that, like, no pun intended, sorry, but it has musical colors that are so similar to what you hear time and again now on TV and in the movies, and yet it all ties together. It's a long piece, so we're playing several short pieces, taking an intermission, and then playing the long piece, Pictures at an Exhibition. And if you have never sat through a piece of music that lasts 30 minutes, it's a different experience altogether. It's not boring if you follow the narrative. And the narrative of this piece is that the composer enters an art exhibition. And the art exhibition actually happened, and it was after a friend of his, the artist, passed away. Very young, very tragically, of course, he was an artist. And his paintings were on exhibit. The composer, Modest Mussorgsky, visited this and was so moved by all of these paintings that his friend had done that he decided he needed to write a piece. It inspired him to write this. So the piece is laid out with all these different paintings, and so it's very programmatic. It's very like there's a story, there's a picture in your mind that you could get, and each of the titles of those pieces is like there's the gnome, right? Evil creature. There's the children arguing, da 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 da, that sort of thing. There's the Great Gate of Kiev, or Kiev now, as we know how to say it.
Yeah.
That's the final movement, and that's big and powerful. The gate was actually never created in real life, but there was a painting of it, and that's what inspired it. So there's 10 different paintings in this thing, but the better part of this whole thing is that there's music that ties them together, and it's called the promenade, whatever. It's walking music, and it starts the whole piece out. So it's like the person it's the walking music. You know, like Peter Griffin had walking music on one of those episodes of Family Guy. Are you with me?
Yep.
Yeah. No,
Well,
Dave is
I
looking at
don't
me
watch
like,
Family Guy, but I know what you're talking
No,
about.
it's like,
I know what you're talking
right.
about.
Peter had walking music.
Yeah.
Or when Stewie followed the guy around with the tuba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boo, 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 boo. This is the
In my
walking-
day and age, it was Looney Tunes. I picked it up from Looney Tunes.
I grew up with Bugs Bunny.
There you go.
So the walking tune connects these different paintings, music, and the walking music, the promenade changes because it starts the whole piece, and it's a solo trumpet. And so if you've like, what does the trumpet sound like? This is what you need to hear at the beginning of this piece. It's amazing.
How long does it take the musicians to learn such a
haven't
long? Oh, you haven't yet. Oh, great.
We'll find out.
Once
2
the
days.
concert-
2 days.
We'll find out on Sunday.
We're an all-volunteer ensemble.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
people are not professionally paid to play.
But they are very serious-minded folks.
Yes, of course they are, because you kind of have to be to have maintained, after. Most of these people started in high school band, junior high band, elementary. And so and what was your instrument?
There were a number of them. I started on trumpet,
There you go. There you go.
then the baritone, then the tuba.
The tuba. I'm a trumpet player myself, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I spent most of the time on tuba because nobody wanted to play it.
You seem like a tuba player, Dave. Mm-hmm. You do.
Is
It
it
was
more-
great
is
being
it-
part
is
of my own little fiefdom up there.
Is it just difficult to play? Is that why no one wants to play it, or is it just because it's heavy?
If you are a trumpet player of some capability, the transition is not awful. Mm-hmm. The instrument is heavy.
Yeah.
You get used to that. And back in those days, I was 136 pounds, and I was.
So was the tuba, right?
I was a small. No, well, it wasn't quite that. But we started off on sousaphone, then went to the upright tuba, and you just had to learn a couple of extra fingerings if you went from the E flat to the double B flat, and so it wasn't that big a deal. But if you had been a trumpet player that had some skill, and that was me, but there were like 50 billion trumpet players, so just, hey Dave, you go do this. And it was a great move, actually, as it turned out. I found that I was able to do things on the tuba that your average tuba player didn't think to do.
Like
Soft
what?
tonguing.
Oh, yeah, There you go.
So you sounded more like a string bass.
yep.
I did that at the Rhode Island Symphony Orchestra down at the Vets,
Yeah.
and they just went nuts over it. But I just did it because I thought it was a cool thing to do. And then afterwards, the conductor says, "Hey, where'd you learn that?" I said,
My
"Playing
room.
the trumpet." Because on a trumpet, everything isn't like bang. You know, you have to learn a little technique here and there, right?
Well, we hope so. Sure. and the same on the saxophone and the tuba and
The other cool
every
thing about
instrument.
being the tuba player in the high school band, Joe, is that you didn't have to remember to bring your instrument in on band day.
It was always there.
It was always there. It was owned by the school district, and you just sat in there, and that was it.
tough to get it on the bus. Huh?
I brought it home for a school vacation one time, and boy, did I regret that.
Did the bus driver give you a hard time?
No, he was
Well, that's
cool.
good.
He got
That's
it,
good.
but it wasn't the cool thing.
Yeah, no. Well, Dave, to answer your question, Joe, I think Dave was attracted to the tuba because what he just said. It is not a cool thing.
Right.
And there, you have to have kind of a personality.
And you're a standout.
Play the instrument
Yeah.
that is not the cool thing. Now, I played trumpet and I stuck with it.
Mm-hmm.
But the tuba is the foundation. It's everything, man. In a band, bands didn't really exist until the tuba was invented, and that didn't come along until the late 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
this
Sousa was the big influence
it
there.
actually started in Germany, right?
Really?
Yep. In the Prussian military bands. And
Oh, so Sousa adapted it?
all of the technical innovations, well, not all of them, but a lot of them happened in Europe. And so in the early days, the Prussian military band was that. And then Sousa developed it. He had guys
For marching.
that, developed it, put it on your shoulder, twist it around.
That's right.
And made the sousaphone. Yeah.
So the upright was European.
yeah.
the sousaphone
yeah. In
more
fact,
American?
They were even weirder looking than upright. The ancestors of the tubas were called the serpent. Have you ever seen a picture?
Nah, I
There's-
may have, but I don't recall it.
The Museum of Fine Arts in Boston has this music room of instruments that's just incredible, and they have this twisty-looking weird thing with a big mouthpiece, and that's the serpent, and that's the forerunner of the tuba. I mean, this goes back hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, but until the tuba was perfected in the late 1800s, we didn't have these large bands like you found with the American band, which began as a brass band in the
Sure.
Civil War. Their tuba instruments were called helicons. You ever play a helicon?
No.
Helicon is a forerunner of the tuba, and it when the tuba came in, I mean, it's all about the tuba. You knew this, right, Dominic?
Yeah.
He does now.
Yeah.
I do
All
not.
right.
I mean,
They even made a song about it just recently, well, a few years ago, Joe, all about that bass.
You know,
Yes, you're right.
All right. We do have to take a break here in the coffee and
For the
program before
audience's
you knock
benefit,
on
No,
this.
let's
for
keep
the
talking
audience's
about the
benefit,
tuba.
Joe did
Let's talk
smile.
Yes,
more about
uh,
the tuba.
We'll get back to that in a minute. But Dave, time for a second message from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, please.
Thank you very much, Joe. Yes, 334-1000, telephone number to call. Call it in a mere 43 minutes from right now when they all come into the office, and they'll tell you how the Chamber can work hard for you and make a benefit in your business or side hustle or whatever it is that you're doing. 334-1000, the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce brings us conversation on every Coffee and program on Fridays.
Thanks, Dave. More tuba talk coming up here on Owen Radio.
You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger. Something better, like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, two locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
ON Radio.
It is Coffee and on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Melissa Murray has joined us at the coffee and table. Hi, Melissa.
Good morning, everybody.
Nice
Happy
to have
Friday.
Nice to have you here. Dominic Dwarron is here. Dave Richards is
Walk
here.
in while we were talking.
I know. Well, she
didn't.
had nothing to add to the tuba talk, so.
I just listened.
All right.
Did
And
you play-
Doctor,
did you play
did you
any
play an
instruments?
instrument?
I have a terrible story about playing an instrument.
Good, we'll
so,
get to that.
yeah.
That's a great tease.
So I really wanted to play the drums, and
How old were you at when the story took place?
elementary school.
Okay. All right.
And I came home and I was like, I want to join the band. I want to play drums. And my mom was like, well, that's not really ladylike. And I was like, all right. Then I want to play, the saxophone. She's like, well, that's not really ladylike. And I was like, okay, how about the clarinet? She's like, well, how about the flute? And I was like, but I don't want to play the flute. And she's like, well, that's
what the
what I
girls-
want.
that's what the
That's what
girls
I want
play.
you to play. So I wasn't really into it, and
Yeah.
I didn't really practice a lot.
Uh-huh.
And then we were gonna march in the Autumn Fest parade, and I faked it. I was in elementary school.
Oh, that's.
I was
Oh
not
my
passionate
God,
about
that
it.
That
like,
is funny.
At all. I'm like, I
I'm
really
very
just want to
sorry.
play the drums.
That hurts my heart. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Hopefully, my mother's not listening
Thank
because
you.
I don't know if
Right.
she knows that story.
Mom, it's
Her
okay. It's
musical
not.
hero was Animal and I love it.
Oh my gosh, yes, 100%.
All right. Our other guest is Dr. Rob Franzblau. He is the direct conductor of the Rhode Island Wind Ensemble. You also teach at Rhode Island College. You still?
I just retired.
Oh, you just? Oh, congratulations!
Thank
Good
you
for
very
you.
much.
That's
Thank you very
that's
much.
awesome. Did they have a little celebration for you?
Nope.
No. No. Good. Get out. Wow. They waved on us on its way out.
Take your baton with you.
So the Rhode Island Wind Ensemble will be at St. Anne's Arts and Cultural Center this Sunday, May 21st. What time's the show?
3 o'clock.
3 in the
So
afternoon.
At 3 o'clock, it'll kick off, and you can get your tickets. You can buy them at the door if you want to get them in advance to get you into the door quicker. You can go to Belo's Flowers, Creative Impressions, The Honey Shop, Timeless Antiques, or Vos True Value Hardware. And again, the tickets are only $20 to hear a 50-piece ensemble. As I keep saying, some of the world's greatest music under one of the world's greatest ceilings.
That's
And
right. All right. And Doctor, you mentioned that you'll be playing some shorter pieces as the beginning part of the show. What pieces will those be?
Okay, sure. The opening fanfare, right? Because concerts got to open with a fanfare, whether you're Taylor Swift or the Rhode Island Wind Ensemble. Was written by a German composer, Richard Strauss, and about 150 years ago. And it was premiered in Vienna. It was written because Vienna had given Strauss a big award. And so he wrote them a beautiful piece, and all the best brass players in Vienna played the premiere. I mean, that itself is just kind of exciting to think about. All the best flute, no, it wasn't flute players. It was just so that's our opening. We've got a piece of Portuguese band tradition. It's called Incognita, and it's, if you have followed Portuguese bands at all in East Providence, Fall River, Somerset areas, Cumberland has a great Portuguese band tradition as well. This piece is like in the center of their repertoire. This is a piece that they all know and love. So we actually have a Portuguese band director directing that piece, guest conducting that piece, Incognita. Joe Suto, who plays tuba in our band, and also is also and you're laughing because if to know Joe is to just smile. We have a trumpet soloist, one of our own in the band. Art Aldrich is going to play a trumpet solo called Nexus. Very flashy piece, really sweet. And what else this most gorgeous piece in the world. A very slow, beautiful piece written by Julie Giraud. Julie is a composer who is getting so much. I mean, she has studied with John Williams. She has written film scores and TV scores. She's the name you don't recognize, who's very famous. A piece that's just beautiful is written as she was enduring the loss of her pet. Her Great Dane was dying, and she
Wow.
wrote this piece during that time. And it's the saddest thing in the world, but also so hopeful. It's sad and
Melissa's
hopeful
already
together. It's really
That breaks
gorgeous.
my
She's an
heart.
animal lover.
I am.
It is just the most beautiful piece. And to know Julie, I know her a little bit. She's the one who bought all the drinks and appetizers at the party we were at. She just kept them coming, and you know, a real warm heart. Great composer. So we're looking forward to playing that for everyone too.
All right. Now, it's all volunteers. You mentioned this wind ensemble.
Yes, sir.
How if someone's a musician, how do they go about possibly joining?
Contact us at through our website.
Yeah? You do auditions
Let me
and
try that one again.
one of those
Website.
newfangled websites.
I
eh?
know. Mouth is new. Need more coffee. RIWE, Rhode Island Wind Ensemble, RIWE.org. And we'll get in touch with you back.
Yeah.
And yeah, absolutely. We are certainly happy to listen to auditions from anybody. It is kind of by audition because
Oh,
just
sure.
want to make sure that, you know, we're going to get along well together. And
We have
Keep
a
the
potential
riffraff out,
drummer,
right?
potential drummer over here.
a flute player, too.
Well, I don't know about the flute.
I don't think so.
Tuba player.
I never
Tuba player
owned,
in the
I
end, yeah.
never actually owned a tuba because I played it mostly when I was much younger, and they cost as much as a Volkswagen back then.
Yeah.
They really were
They
a very
run
expensive
better.
instrument. I owned my own trumpet.
Oh, I'm a VW person.
I
so-
own my own.
Really? Oh, wow. Okay.
I own my own
Take it
trumpet,
back.
but I never owned my own tuba.
Yeah, I know. It's
I
a
played
big
somebody else's
investment.
tuba.
Big investment, but you know, we'll find one if you want to play in our group. We'll find one for you.
Oh, alrighty.
All right, and when you join the Rhode Island Wind Ensemble, is it like the Supreme Court? You're in for until you want to quit?
There was a time when I would have appreciated the comparison to the Supreme Court. Thank you.
Sorry.
But
All right, how about the Pope?
yes,
Depending on the
Yes.
decade.
pretty much.
You're just
I mean,
in until
yeah,
you don't wanna do it anymore.
You're in, you're in, and we've had people who have been in the band for over 20 years, 25 years.
Wow.
So yeah, it's great. It's the people that get together because we rehearse once a week. We're not like
All
this-
50 you at one can get together
yes,
in one place?
it's as you say that, it is kind of incredible to
Well, yeah,
think about. Yeah,
that all 50 can make it at one
pretty much
time.
more or less. You know,
Yeah,
depending
right.
on work schedules and family emergencies
yep.
and da 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 da. We get together once a week. Thursday evenings we're rehearsing in East Providence at Martin Middle School. So kudos to the East Providence School Department. Thank you
That
for
lets you do
supporting
that,
us
yeah.
and letting us rent that space. It's wonderful to be there. And the band director, she's putting up with so much because we put the chairs back, and I always hope she's not mad, but it's great. It's a social thing. You know, people like each other in the band. They want to get together and see each other and play and have fun. So making the rehearsals productive but also enjoyable
Right.
is you know what community music making is about.
All right, so the show this Sunday starts at 3. You can do some pieces at the beginning, and then you can take about a, 15, 20-minute break, intermission of some sort, maybe a half an hour.
Not quite that long, just long enough for people to use the restroom.
Use the restroom.
The ample restroom facilities at St. Anne, I might add.
Downstairs, yes.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
I always announce at the beginning of the concert, people are always shocked. I'll tell them, okay, the restrooms are located downstairs. You don't have any upstairs? And I always have to tell people, and I do this as part of the announcement, back in the old days, when you went to church, you didn't go to the restroom. So that's why there are no restroom facilities
Yeah.
upstairs, because you just didn't go.
Yeah.
You went before
Who
you
wants
left.
to hear the flush during the homily?
That's right. Peace be with you. So-
Taking a collection
Taking
takes
a
on a
collection-
whole different meaning.
That's right. And so the restrooms are downstairs. So we have a couple extra minutes for people to make their way downstairs and to get back up. But we let people know when the concert's about to start, to hurry it up.
Oh yeah. No, it's great, but it's such an old building that churches have changed now. It's kind of a community center and restrooms and the kitchen, da 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 da. But this church, just gorgeous. It's so incredible to walk inside and see all of these paintings.
those
You know, this
frescoes,
is
yeah.
right overhead.
Yeah.
This is the painting that's right overhead. And
And you
but-
must appreciate the acoustics inside there.
the
which
acoustics are
incredible.
challenging. Let me put it to you
Yeah,
this
they're
way.
awfully challenging.
I love the acoustics, but my
They're
band
challenging.
doesn't always. So choosing the music that we
To fit the
play
building.
in this place is really important. That's why we can't do too much that's got lots of percussion. Sorry, but you know, it's like, you know, a lot of drums make just a lot of echo, and
Yeah.
the reverb time is very long. So this piece is great though.
Yeah.
Pictures and the beautiful piece by Julie.
Pictures and exhibition. Once that finale comes, once it's played, come back a week later and you'll catch the tail end of it.
Yeah,
That's
it's
right. You can still
banging
hear
off the
it
walls.
echoing. It's still echoing.
Through the facility.
All right, so the show is Sunday, May 21st, 3 p.m., St. Anne Arts and Cultural Center. Dominic, once again, tickets are $20. Where can people get tickets ahead of time?
Ahead of time, get at our friends at Belo's Flowers, Creative Impressions, The Honey Shop, Timeless Antiques, or Vos True Value Hardware. And of course, you can purchase them at the door, but if you want to get your tickets early, you can, so you can get into the door faster and not have to wait in the line.
All right, Dominic Doron, thanks for coming in.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for dragging along this guy, Dr. Rob Francois, conductor of the Rhode Island Wind Ensemble. Best of luck with the show on Sunday.
Thanks a lot, Joe.
Have a great time. It's time for the weather forecast being brought to us by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation.
Increasingly cloudy skies with a high of 68 degrees. Tonight, a 20% chance of showers as a storm comes in, increasing clouds, overnight low of 50. Saturday's weather, showers, mainly at midday, with patchy fog earlier, high of 65, 90% chance of 3/4 of an inch of rain Saturday. Saturday night, continued rain, another 1/4 to a 1/2 inch of rain overnight, with an 80% chance of precipitation. Sunday's weather, a few leftover rain showers, then becoming mostly sunny with a high of 74. Monday, sunshine and 68. Tuesday, sunshine and 70. Wednesday, sunshine and 79. And Thursday, mostly sunny skies and 70 degrees.
Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street. Sunny skies and 58 degrees. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
The latest word from John Chan at Chan's Fine Oriental Dining on Main Street is early bird specials. This is for dine-in only. Sunday to Thursday from 3 to 5, get $2 off 32 special combo dinners. $2 off. Drink specials on Sunday to Thursday, 3 to 9 p.m. House wine, $5. Domestic beers, $4. Mai Tai and Scorpion Bowls, $7, of course. Get your poo-poo platters at Chan's. Enjoy the awesome Chan's experience. It's so good. Chan's is at 267 Main Street, Woonsocket. And you can go online at chanseggrollsandjazz.com or give them a buzz at 765-1900. Takeout, drive-through, delivery, or sit in the booth. Chan's.
Dealing with insurance claims on your own can be a frustrating experience. Have you been struggling to get the compensation you deserve after a disaster strikes? Look no further than Vern Rainville, Public Insurance Adjuster. Vern Rainville works for you, the insured, not the insurance company. He knows the ins and outs of the claims process. He's helped countless homeowners and business owners get the maximum compensation they're entitled to. Don't let the insurance company take advantage of you. Let Vern Rainville fight for your rights and make sure you get the settlement you deserve. Contact Vern Rainville. He's in Manville today at 1-484-300-8495, 484-300-8495.
Hey, it's ON Radio's Cruisin' Bruce Palmer inviting you to join me for the Saturday Block Party. It's every Saturday from 4 until 7 p.m. when we fill the airwaves with the songs you want to hear. It's a party in every sense of the word, so join me live on 99.5 and 1240 a.m. or bring the show with you wherever you go at onworldwide.com.
All right, Coffee In on ON, and we're being joined at the Coffee In table by Rich Elaine. Hello, Rich.
Well, good morning.
From
The
Post
rooster
85.
is back.
Yes.
Nice to have you here with us. We're going to get to Rich in a second here, but it's time for a first message from our sponsor of this segment of Coffee In, the Valley Breeze newspaper. Dave.
Thank you, Joe. I have in my hand a copy of the Cumberland and Lincoln edition of the Valley Breeze newspapers, just out yesterday. Top story on the top over here from Ethan Shorey. The story is from Cumberland. Community school move and new B.F. Norton are hot topics in Cumberland. Lincoln's DeAndre makes history at the Providence Police Department, and Mr. Mutter, your mayor in Cumberland, nixes Deputy EMS Chief's private EMT classes. Interesting topics, plus great news and sports. We also have great ads in the Valley Breeze. And I did want to point out the North Smithfield, Blackstone, and Woonsocket edition over here, too. Art and fireworks alive in North Smithfield, and talking about what they have coming up as well. In Blackstone on the Memorial Day weekend, we have fireworks, so quite a nice thing going on there on Sunday. And Woonsocket Mayor presents budget. Council frustrated over lack of reports. I think we all know that, but Bella Pelletier has the story behind the story on that one. And then Ethan Shorey takes the top over here, and this is news to me, as a matter of fact, until I read it in the Breeze, that up there in Blackstone, there's the old Park and Shop supermarket, which you know closed, and it's been not the same place since that happened. Well, they have a new owner for it. And this is the guy who owns Denny's Liquors on Pulaski Boulevard in Bellingham, Samir Patel. And he's buying the whole place, and he's going to make it over. He wants to revive the Park and Shop Plaza property. Read all about it in the Valley Breeze Free, where you shop every Thursday.
All right, Dave, thanks. All right, Rich, what's news at Post 85?
Well, we've got a lot of different things going on.
All right.
This weekend...
All right, so never mind what's new. What's different?
Different. Well, this weekend, the people up at Lowe's in North Smithfield, the manager up there is going to allow our auxiliary, who are extremely active, as you know, they're going to go up there and they're going to start doing the little paper poppies that come around during Memorial Day weekend. And but people think that Memorial Day is like military, but it really isn't. I mean, military is part of it, but the paper poppies symbolize remembrance, sacrifice, hope, consolation, death. So, I mean, military can be involved in all that too. But Memorial Day is usually when we remember everybody. And then Veterans Day, of course, is, well, in its own description, Veterans Day. But they're going to be doing the paper poppies up at the Lowe's in North Smithfield, Saturday and Sunday, starting at around 10 a.m. So we want to thank the manager up at Lowe's in North Smithfield for allowing the auxiliary to do that. Saturday might be a little wet for them, so don't just run right by them and not pay attention if you're up at Lowe's. And the poppies, I believe they're going to have the little cans. You make a little donation and stuff, and all the finances help the American Legion, which we're very appreciative of. And of course, tomorrow night, we got the new World Wrestling Extreme up at American Legion Post 85.
Rich and I have been working out. We have a tag team going.
That's right. We're going to wear those wrestling outfits.
Oh, right. The singlets.
Joe, right. With the strap that goes across the front. Yeah, we're going to look real good, aren't we?
But, I can't bear to look.
Yeah. But wear dark sunglasses if that happens. But that's tomorrow night. The gates open at 6:30 and the bell is at 7:30 for some new World Wrestling Extreme down at Post 85. And then on Sunday, May the 21st, we are going to be doing our flagging of the veterans' graves up at St. Paul's Cemetery. We do that right around Memorial Day every year out of Post 85. Now, anybody that wants to join in, by the way, this is not something exclusively for, just the people at the post. If you want to join in, I know we have our post meeting, I think that starts at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, and we usually get done right around 11 o'clock, 11:15 or so. So if you say, hey, this would be something that I'd like and I say your children or grandchildren, because my grandchildren do experience it. They come out and they help flag, but you're more than welcome to join us to come do the flagging at the Veterans Cemetery on Sunday. We're going to probably leave American Legion Post 85 right around 11:15 and go down to St. Paul's, or if you wanted me to stand at St. Paul's Cemetery, you're more than you're more than welcome to do that. And we
What's
have
the
all,
address in case they don't know the name of the cemeteries they drive by?
I do not know the address of St. Paul's.
Oh, okay.
But
Sorry.
you can come down to American Legion Post 85 at 870 River Street and follow us down there.
right.
I know it's maybe a mile down the street, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And what's that restaurant, right? And that there's I can't think of the name of
The
the
roast
restaurant.
house.
Yeah, Roast House. Anybody knows what a roast house is?
Sure.
Thank you,
It's
Melissa.
that. Yes.
Yeah, if you know what a roast house is, it's a cemetery right there. So, but like I said, that's going to be on Sunday, May the 21st, and feel free to come down and join us. It doesn't take long, maybe an hour and a half, depending on how many people we have. And Sunday's supposed to be a nice day, but it's an experience. I remember the first time I did it, and it's when you walk up to a veteran's grave, and most of them already have the markers there and the old flags, and you just, and one thing I was taught to do, which makes it even a better experience, is that when you remove the flag from that grave and put the new one in, say that veteran's name that's on the stone. It just, it makes it all the more special. I don't know. It's hard to explain unless you've done it, but feel free to join us. As far as bands coming up, once again, our band season is really going to start to kick into gear in June up at the Pavilion. Mostly Saturday nights. We do have some Friday nights that are booked during the summertime, but on Saturday, June 3rd from 7 to 11 p.m., we got Radio Badland playing. And then on Saturday, June the 10th, from 7 to 11 p.m., we have So Many Roads playing up at the Pavilion. So we have an outside bar there, so you can enjoy some beverages and some good music from the local bands. And I always like to give an update on the Post Courtesy Vehicle. That's for our veterans who need a ride to their VA appointments or any other doctor appointment. If you're a veteran, we do have that courtesy vehicle that was donated to us by Imperial Cars up in Mendon. And if a veteran needs a ride to any medical appointment, all you got to do is call the post at 401-766-7585. Give them your name, your telephone number. I will personally get in touch with you, and we can set up your trip to go to your doctor's appointments. And one thing I do want to mention, and please accept my apologies if the gentleman is listening out there, but there was a gentleman from the Knights of Columbus, and I believe he was one of the commanders for the Knights of Columbus, but he dropped off a donation to help us with gas for the vehicle of $100 the other day.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's
I
very
thought
generous.
that was wonderful, but I will get his name. I haven't been down to the poll. I was just told that was dropped off, so but I will get his name and I'll give him his due kudos next week, hopefully.
All right.
But as far as donations, please feel free. Anybody, like I said, $5, $2, it all adds up. No amount is too small, so if you'd like to send a donation to help us out with the vehicle, you can do that by dropping it off down at the post or just mail it down to American Legion Post 85, 870 River Street in Woonsocket. And just in the memo or the check, put down a courtesy vehicle. But that's about it.
All right, Rich, thank you very much. Taking a look at that story that Dave was talking about for the person that purchased the Park and Shop Plaza, and he wants to put in another grocery store, but he's also going before the board, Blackstone Board of Selectmen, because he wants to have liquor sales there, so he needs a liquor license
Right.
from the town.
It's legal in Massachusetts.
Right.
Yep,
A lot of other
and
stores have
he
it.
says that's the only way they're going to be able to compete, because I guess in the article he says there's a big Y coming to Uxbridge.
Yes, and they're going to have liquor
Why?
also.
Why is it coming to Uxbridge? I don't know, Dave.
Because the closest one is in Franklin. That's why.
Yeah, so they want to put one there. So he wants to be able to compete on a smaller scale with those guys.
Yeah.
He doesn't just want to open for a year and then be gone. So he says he really needs that. And then there's also talk of a Dollar General or a Dollar Tree store also going into that plaza as well. Because he's not going to take up the whole Park and Shop. At least doesn't think so. Therefore, he can lease the other part to the Dollar Tree people. So
Well, the Park and Shop sold beer and wine.
did they have a liquor
They
license
did.
too?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can do that in Massachusetts. So
Yes, you can.
You know, he mentioned the kind of having like a Trader Joe's style.
Yes.
You know, with selling alcohol and like fresh produce and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Why can't we do that in Rhode Island, Melissa?
Because our 3-tiered system is
It was
There's-
designed with different motivations after
yes.
we came out of prohibition, and it was
Okay,
designed.
well, it's 100 years later now.
It
No,
was,
I
it
am-
was designed
yeah.
to have a certain security.
Yeah.
The security device was to exclude possibilities.
right.
Would you
right.
say it that way, Senator?
I think that's a very yes.
It was improved security by eliminating possibilities.
Yes, and as an advocate for the small craft breweries,
Yeah.
I have seen this firsthand
Yes.
because even trying to get them to be able to expand what they are able to sell to a single customer
Right.
was a lot of work.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yes.
But now we can go out and buy pot on any street corner.
Yes, we can.
And we can
Perfectly
advertise
fine.
legal or not.
Yeah, it's not really about
And-
prohibition. It's really about prohibiting the little guys from being able to be
Prosper?
just to sell because
Yeah.
it's
And
I was told it's a death by 1,000 cuts to let to let the breweries be able to sell more, and they can't. There's also a law that hasn't passed, and I hope it doesn't, honestly, because I'm very pro labor, but this would eliminate the little guys from being able to distribute their own, yeah,
Wow.
like completely. So if you've ever craft breweries, Rich,
Are they still limited as to the amount that they can sell to an individual going in? Because I just remember years ago going down to Pawtucket, what's that one in Pawtucket?
The Guild?
The guild, yeah.
No.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, probably since. But I remember
they're
years
everywhere. They're in Pasco.
They're everywhere.
ago.
Yeah.
But there was one that I remember going into, and I used to buy my beer there, my craft beer there often, and he said he could only sell me a 12-pack.
Yep.
Because is that still in effect?
No, thanks to a law that I put forth, which passed, you can now buy a case. We asked for 10. We wanted 5. We got 1 because I was told that would put the liquor stores out of business.
Well, that's what the argument was, but
Which-
it's like the guy told me. He said, "Come
it's
in."
not the same customer.
It's funny. That argument didn't hold up when you were talking about having restaurants sell liquor out the door.
Right.
You know,
Right.
This is the reason why, and everybody agrees with this, and then, but if we want to do this.
Well, because that was originally done by executive order. And
Right.
if it hadn't been a pandemic and it hadn't been done by executive order, it would have never, we would still be arguing about it.
I found a way around it that day, though. I put the 12 in my car, turned around, and came back and brought 12 more.
Well,
That's what the guy
not
told me to
supposed
do.
to
What do you want me to
Oh,
do? Now I'm happy I
no,
didn't
no.
remember
Okay, all right.
the brewery.
Okay.
She didn't hear that.
I didn't hear
Rich.
that. I
She
didn't hear that. But honestly, like Maine, you can get 10 cases. I think it's New Hampshire or Vermont. I think they're maybe like 10 and 5. Connecticut, you can get 3. We're still the
Right,
lowest.
one.
One. They said, well, who needs more than 1 case of beer? Nobody's going to buy that because it's so expensive. And it's like people travel from
Right.
other,
Places, yeah.
places, and they need, their year's worth of whatever. So let's just let these folks thrive. Anyway,
How about this?
we're digressing.
How
We
about
gotta
this?
take a
How about this compound word? Cookouts.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, right.
All right, break time here on the Coffee Am program, and this segment of Coffee Am has been sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper.
Since its founding in 1996, the Valley Breeze has been the trusted source for local news in the Blackstone Valley. Our readers and advertisers understand that shining a light on all aspects of our communities and doing it with some of the best local journalism anywhere makes these cities and towns better places to live in. We believe that truth has value and should triumph over rumors and misinformation. See valleybreeze.com or any of our 5 editions for more on how you can be part of this local news success story.
The best little auction in Massachusetts is Trudell's Auction Gallery in Bellingham. Auctions are presented every other Monday starting at 10 a.m. Please check out their website, trudellsauction.com, to see when the next auction takes place. You can stop by Trudell's Auction Gallery on the weekends before the auction to preview all the items being offered. You will see antiques and all sorts of personal property items from various estates. Trudell's Auction Gallery, 799 South Main Street, Bellingham.
Hello everyone, this is Paul De Silva. There's a special event coming to Woonsocket. On Friday night, May 19th, from 7 to 9 p.m., Josie Vachon, with her French folklore repertoire, will perform at the Precious Blood Church Hall on Carrington Avenue. Also, the program will feature Paul Aaron, an Elvis tribute artist. Tickets are only $10 and are available by phone, 401-744-6845, or at the door. But hurry because seating is very limited. An event you don't want to miss.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
Thanks for joining us on Coffee In. This is Joe Callahan here with Rich Elaine and Melissa Murray, and Dave Richards is here as well. And I wanted to bring this up because it may bother. Maybe it's going to bother Rich the most, but I'm not sure. So I want to run this by.
Crank me up, Joe.
So here we go. This is what the world's come to now. We had the story yesterday about what happened at, maybe you haven't heard this, Rich, at Gallagher Middle School. It's in Smithfield. And this is with the boys' baseball team there. Okay. Had a 10-0 season. Mm-hmm. Okay, and they were going to the playoffs, going to try to win a state championship. When it was discovered that there was a player on the team that was academically ineligible to play, yet he still played. So for a punishment, 5 games were taken away as victories. So now they're 10-0 season. They're now 5-5, and they don't make the playoffs, and they can't go on. Okay. Well, that's not the bad part.
All right.
Interscholastically rules and blah 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 blah. The follow up on that is the superintendent of schools in Smithfield has come out and says she's taking full responsibility for this. That it should have been notified much sooner than it was because it took about a month for all this information to come out, and she's very sorry. And they've put things in place so that does not happen again. Okay, that's fine. The final paragraph in the story says, and this is where the world's come to, counselors will be available at the school for the players who are so distraught.
Oh, my heart breaks. My heart breaks. Grow up.
That is the response that I expected from Rich.
I know. That's why I wanted to tell Rich the story.
Let me tell you something. And these are what, high school?
No, they're middle school. So they're maybe they're 13. 12 or 13.
Youngsters, let me pass these words of wisdom on to you, like I tell my granddaughters all the time. If this is the worst thing that happens to you in your life...
Oh, you got a pretty good life.
Consider yourself extremely lucky.
Yeah.
You're going to grow up, and there are going to be worse things than having a 10-0 season go to 5-5.
Well, I just...
Those words.
I thought it was it's a teaching moment, actually, and especially for the kids of, not really for like a counselor that's needed, but hey, life is not fair. And this is one of those examples where you didn't do anything wrong, and yet you still got the short end of the stick, and oh well.
You know if you're eligible or not. This is...
Well, the kid probably...
Well, the other kids wouldn't know.
The other kids wouldn't, but an adult knew.
Oh, that's
you ain't going to tell me an adult...
Right. Teachers knew, coach knew, AD knew. Someone knew.
So, hey, listen, you tried to get away with something, you got caught.
And he got caught. And so...
that's what I mean. That's a life lesson right there.
The other thing I thought, because, my big claim to fame in sports actually happened in middle school. And that's where I peaked, Rich. Because in 1980... I played baseball on the North Cumberland Middle School team, and we won the state championship. Mm-hmm. It was a very exciting day. Mm-hmm. But the real prize is to win the high school state baseball championship. Yeah. And we didn't do that. We fell when I was a senior, we fell short by a couple of games. So that's what I'm thinking about these kids in middle school. And they were quoted as saying, it's the last time we're going to play together. And I said, well, if you're really that good, you're going to go on and play in high school, aren't you?
Yeah.
And that's really your goal. Football, basketball, tennis, field hockey, that is the ultimate goal, to win the state championship at the high school level, not at the middle school. Nice to win at the middle school level, but, keep playing, keep getting better. You get your grades up and keep playing so you can win the high school state championship.
So like the other kids in the team, the kids in the team that are upset,
yes.
They must have really voiced their displeasure, let's say, at the student that was
Well, I don't know.
ineligible.
Yeah, that's
or
what
they
I
might-
was thinking.
They might have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really voicing
Call them all sorts of like good names and things like that.
mostly it's the parents. It's always the parents.
yeah.
that
Oh,
are
God,
voicing
please.
their displeasure at the schools who held on to this information and didn't tell anybody until it's the day before they're supposed to start the playoffs, this is really too bad. It's the day before they're
Yeah.
supposed to play when they're told you're not playing.
Oh, you mentioned
And the season's overdone.
And you mentioned parents, which is a huge thing, because I don't know if they have this problem. They probably do in Rhode Island, but I saw this report the other day that they're having an extremely difficult time getting officials.
Well, that's nationwide.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
because
Would
of the
you
way-
want to do it?
Yeah,
Right?
I'd
I
love
mean,
it. Are you
keep
kidding
you
me?
keep the parents in
Are
their
you-
place.
oh,
It's
God,
not even the
please,
kids, the
please.
parents.
You don't want
yeah.
me. Yeah,
You'd be a good
yeah.
football referee, Rich. Hockey too. You'd be a
Hockey,
hockey
yeah,
official.
Yeah.
I could just say, you out.
Yes. That's right. All right. And we'll get Melissa's take on this one before we got to run. The United States USDA Drug Administration, they want to move. They want to ban flavored milk from the school cafeteria. No more chocolate and strawberry milk.
Well, that's no fun.
Oh, I know.
I saw that the other day too. That was like they're saying what sugar content.
As
or
well, there's too
something?
much
Kid-
sugar
yeah,
in the
obesity
chocolate,
and- yeah.
in the strawberries.
I mean,
So-
that is true, but
but there's
they
milk.
just
There's sugar
decided
in
now,
milk, white milk.
Yeah, and if that's
Yeah,
we're
that-
gonna get into the
and coffee milk too.
and coffee milk. Oh well, you can't do that in Rhode Island.
On Rhode Island.
That's a
okay.
hard line right there.
That's yeah.
we cannot cross.
no.
You know, I don't think that 8-ounce carton of milk
Is
is
the
actually
problem.
making.
Well, they don't get 8 ounces in
I'm trying to
school.
be polite here. I don't think
Yeah,
it's
they get
making
those little pints,
half a pint.
pint.
Yeah, the obesity problem for kids today. How about just watching what your kid puts in their mouth when they're home?
Yeah,
Right? I
and
mean,
for some
I mean,
kids,
please, you
some
know.
kids, that's the best meal that they get is at school. So maybe they need the calories. So there's two sides to it.
Yeah,
But
take away the kids' chocolate milk. Oh my God! Please.
That-
What's
yeah.
it, Joe? What's the world coming to? Come on, folks here, Melissa.
they're the fun police.
Dave, what's
They're
going
being the fun
on?
police.
There'll be no more having fun.
No more fun. Yeah, that's it. Fun's over.
Hey, isn't coffee milk one of the joys in life? Right?
That's right.
It's a constant.
Now, Dave and I were talking. You know, when we were in elementary school, we didn't have our choice. You only had white milk.
Yeah.
And
We
the,
had
the
some.
flavors came later. I'm like, oh, gee, that's too bad because I would have had chocolate milk. That would have been great. But
I grew up in Worcester, and they had this thing at the parks every summer. I didn't grow up in the best of neighborhoods. It was cool. We had our friends, but we'd go over to the park, and they'd have these summer programs where they'd give you like 2 of the small things of chocolate milk, a ham sandwich, and the what they call them, sports bars they used to give out at the ball games, Dave. Remember
Oh,
those
like
with the
the-
chocolate covered with the
like a granola bar.
yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
Like
and
a
they
protein
used-
bar.
Yeah, and you used to
Yeah.
get those ice cream bars, sports bars.
Oh,
they're
oh,
called.
okay.
Yeah, the ice cream sports bars.
Yeah.
And you used to get those for free. Man alive, I couldn't wait to get to the park during the summer when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That was what, hey, I had good food on the table when I was growing up. My mother, God rest her soul, gave us great meals, but that was fun in the summertime.
We
You
do
know,
that here in
fun.
Woonsocket
Yeah.
at the park. We feed kids in the summer.
That's great. Good memories.
Yeah.
Good
Yep.
memories. Come on, quit taking away fun.
All right. So if you're a doctor and you're examining the prisoners at the ACI, all right, what you can't do is when you're done is smack them on the backside on the way out the door.
Whoa.
There was a doctor doing this.
Oh.
Now, he hasn't been there for quite a while. He hasn't been there since April of 2022, but I guess some of the prisoners didn't appreciate it, and
I
so
would imagine
they complained.
I don't imagine anyone would appreciate that from their doctor.
I'm thinking he's trying to be a fun guy. The sports guys always smacking each other on the butt, Rich.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's doing this, but he's been reprimanded.
There was
Got a good talking to.
I had worked, of course, in the penal system in the state of Massachusetts, and I won't say which prison, but we had one person that was coming there doing Reiki
that
Yeah,
for,
okay.
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the prisoners.
Yeah.
And
That's very soothing.
and you got these male prisoners, and that they're lying on the floor, and you got this female that is like leaning over them, and her hands are extremely close to
Yes,
their
just very. But you don't touch. You just-
no,
It's the
but I
energy
mean,
thing.
you don't have to touch if you're in prison. You know, what I mean, just the thought of it.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And I walked in, and I about lost my mind, and I kind of like shut the program down. And it was a long story, but it's
Oh, so you're taking away the fun too.
yeah, I'm taking away the fun. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, the doctor patting it in, and some of the inmates may have enjoyed it down the ACI.
Maybe.
You don't know.
You
You don't know. But no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't condone
Well,
that either.
They won't be doing that anymore.
No, that's good.
That's
That's
not
yeah.
appropriate
No,
for.
no.
I guess not. All
It's
right.
not professional behavior.
That'll do. That'll do it for the show for today. We thank you very much. We thank Dominic Doron and Dr. Rob Franzblau for joining us earlier. Rich Lane, thanks for coming in as well.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
All right, Melissa Murray, thanks for popping in as well.
Thank you.
Wait a minute, there you are.
Here I am.
There you are. Thank you.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
And Dave Richards, thanks for showing up as well.
You betcha.
All right. This is Joe Callahan. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you again on Monday. And stay tuned for Do You Remember coming up at 9:30 with Gary Smith and the crew on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
The Rhode Island ACLU is celebrating after a judge ruled in favor of a convict who had a law named after him. Superior Court Judge Stephen Nugent